Hello, viewers. Welcome to yet another program, Guest of the Week on Standard Voice Television. A program that's centered on discussion on national issues, recent happenings around the world, security, politics, and social lives, and among others. Today on the program, we are going to discuss the issue of the recent fuel hike in Nigeria, occasioned by the war going on between America and Iran, and even the Israel. And also, if time permits, we shall be discussing some political issues around Nigeria, even as the 2027 elections draws nearer. Today in the studio with me is a Kaduna-based public affairs commentator and a Christian cleric in person of Prince Anthony Akoche. Sir, you are welcome.
It's my privilege to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. In May 2023 will never be forgotten by many Nigerians, which sees the removal of fuel subsidy by the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who declared that fuel subsidy is gone on his inauguration day. And since then, fuel price have been going up and down across Nigeria, occasioned or attributed to many factors around the world. That is where we are going to start our discussion today. I will start with the question that, considering the situation in the country at the moment, attributed to the war that is between the US and Iran, and even the Israel, that have made the fuel price have been a kind of being fluctuated between 100 and maybe 1,320 to about 1,280 presently selling in the market. What are some factors that contributed to such a hike in the petrol price?
Once again, so happy to be here, viewers. And I'd like you to always tune into this wonderful channel where issues of national interest are being looked at.
Yes, sir.
Just like the presenter said from the beginning, Nigeria as a country was consuming about 65 million barrels of fuel, liters of fuel,
okay,
before the removal of subsidy. So when subsidy was actually taken out of it, then a whole lot of persons couldn't drive either home or to work their cars anymore.
Yeah.
And so many of them packed them. And then that consumption actually reduced and began to fluctuate between 50 to 60 million liters. I just want to remind us also that when we talk about liter, we will need about 159 liter to give us 1 barrel.
Okay.
So basically, that was what happened. Then, of course, Nigerians have been groping with that issue of removal of fuel subsidy.
Yes.
Then suddenly, an old issue that has been hanging since 1979, which has to do with hostilities that began to brew after a new government started in Iran, talking about the regime of the Ayatollah, who took over Iran since 1979.
Yes.
And since that time, a couple of issues have actually been coming up, or do I call it upheavals, have been coming up between Iran and Israel on one hand, and then between Iran and US on another hand. That of Iran, and as a background, before we go to the issue of hiking price, that of Iran and Israel on one hand is the fact that the regime that actually took over power changed the whole dynamic. Before 1979, Iran and Israel were allies. They were doing things together.
Yes.
They were in good times. But when that regime took over power, they severed that relations and felt they have a divine mandate to a kind of obliterate or remove Israel from the map of the world. And since that time, Israel became very apprehensive and wanted to monitor and to see that Iran does not become too powerful, such that they pose a threat to them. That given the fact that Iran eventually now had proxies like the Hezbollah and other groups, Houthis, who were actually at one point in time sending 1 or 2 missiles to Israel. Then on another hand, the whole world came to an agreement that considering what nuclear does, nuclear has a magnitude of effect if introduced at any time. So many countries are signatory to the fact that no more nuclear and no more adding to the nuclear warheads. So, but we tend to have countries like Pakistan, India, US, and others who already have the nuclear, but only for the sake of deterrence, to protect their countries. But out of Iran, why the whole nations are apprehensive is the fact that being that Iran had a mission already to take Israel out of the map of the world. And also in their country from time to time, they chant death to America, death to Israel and all of that. So those two countries became very worried when Iran began to enrich their uranium to a point of gradually reaching to that point of having a nuclear. And if Iran should have a nuclear bomb, it would be a problem. Then coming to the issue of oil. There's
to be a problem to the world at large.
Yes, it will be a problem to particularly to Israel and then of course to US and then to the Gulf too, because it's not sitting down well with Iran and Saudi Arabia. There's this strong divide between the Shia and the Sunni branch of Islam. For the Shias, who are largely in Iran, they want to see that they are the ones in piloting the affairs of Islam in the whole world. Meanwhile, historically, you know, Saudi Arabia is known to be, you know, the headquarters of Islam or the seat of Islam. So that fiction or what you call rivalry has been there for ages. So even the US knows this, and Saudi too are also giving a tip in the back and like bomb Iran very well, because they somehow there's that religious acrimony and distrust between them. So coming to the question of oil, there is a place that is called Strait of Hormuz, where nations have to ferry pass with this oil, you know, through the Middle East. Because if you're looking at countries that actually produce oil, you tend to have in that chart, you have US coming first. You have Saudi Arabia coming next to it. Then you tend to have countries like Kuwait, you have countries like Russia, and lots more. So that particular place is a place where they ferry through with oil. And that is within the borders of Iran. And in the middle of the current exchange of missiles, Iran has made it a bit difficult for nations to pass through that
area
place, except with permission. For instance, India had to take permission from Iran to be able to pass through that place. Meanwhile, there was an order from Trump ordering that that place should be opened so that people can pass easily from one part of the world to another having petrol. Then why it has become a problem in Nigeria, and that's our place of focus, is the fact that before now, our refineries are 3 in Nigeria and have not been working optimally. Talking about the Port Harcourt refinery, that's supposed to give us about 220 thousand liters or barrel of crude being refined. They are not, it's not working. Then the Warri refinery and then the Kaduna and petrochemical company that's supposed to give the country about 110,000 that can give the north and all of that. Is also not working. So, but along the line, we tend to have the Dangote refinery, which is coming like a private refinery, but there's a rivalry between these refineries who are not yet optimally working and the Dangote. And then, but the problem why we tend to have hiking the price is that the Dangote refinery, who tends to buy the crude from Nigeria, actually complained through the executive officer that they've been buying the crude from Nigeria, you know, just the way it is being sold internationally. So it is a crude for dollar or dollar for crude.
Yes, that determines
so it's not naira for crude or crude for naira. They are not buying it by naira, they're buying it by dollar. So how do you now, and if you look at the exchange rates between naira and dollar, so when they buy it, you know, using dollar, of course, they have to convert it into naira and they have to make their own profit.
Sure.
So by so doing,
he's a businessman.
Actually, so by so doing, that becomes a problem, and they are not getting all the crude they want, because the Dangote, as we speak, as at this very month, or about a month or two to now, now produce about 650,000 liters per day. So which is more or less above what Nigeria needs, consumes. Okay, so that's to say, with that dream, they needed more crude. So they're not getting all the crude from Nigeria. They go also to the international market to buy crude, and they buy it in dollar.
So the international market now determines what happens in Nigeria.
What happens here, and that's why when it goes up over there, it comes up also here. There's that shocker also. We each time they cough over there, we shiver here, and that has actually been the problem. That's why the hike is up as we speak.
But sir, when we want to relate the price of the fuel now to the war going on between Iran and US, why does that affect Nigeria? Anytime, because when you remember during Ukraine, that was around 2022, Ukraine and Russia war, something like that came up. That because of the war there, that is why the crude is now a kind of expensive in the international market. Then the Nigerian oil went up also.
Yeah, basically because we don't really refine here at home, except for the Dangote now, who has come to start doing some level of refining. Sir, we take our oil to the international market and get refined there. So now, who are the major players in the international market? The US.
The US, sure.
The US is number one when it comes to production and sales of crude oil. So, and the US is at war. So even in US, as it stands, they too are buying, just like, if you convert it, it's going to be like 1,400 naira. Per liter. So it is expensive over there too,
than even Nigeria.
So and that is why it's not only Nigeria that is feeling this effect. It's everywhere, except countries that have their own crude and refine it at home. When you refine it at home, you determine the price. That you want to sell it. And especially if your crude is according to your currency. You refine it and then you sell it according to your currency, not according to the dollar. If it's according to the dollar, each time the dollar goes up or comes down, of course it will affect the price of it. So basically, that's the challenge.
So, but what do you think? What do you think about the inflation rate in Nigeria and then the economy of Nigeria, considering the high cost of the crude and then the even refined oil in Nigeria?
Yeah, basically before now, inflation rate has been a little bit up. It has been up, and economists are working on how to see that it's been attacked and it's been reduced before this. But as it stands right now, it's still going up. But one thing it does is that it has a way of increasing national revenue. It has a way of, because as the prices are hiking up, the government is making more money, because one of the biggest commodity of Nigeria is crude.
It's crude,
So the government is making more money, so more revenue is coming in for the Nigerian state.
But what about the masses then?
And that's why when we talk about governance now, which has to do with how you bring the human resource and other resources together and kind of manage them well. Now, what people do, or some countries do around the globe, is that while the inflation is a little bit up and things like this are happening, now, there's this question of tax.
Yes.
Because when it's up, there will be more taxation.
Yes.
So what advanced countries do is that they don't tax everybody.
Okay.
They tax specifics.
People, yeah.
They tax the rich,
okay.
and then big investments.
Yes.
So now when they put a whole lot of tax on all of this, the money that is accruing from there, they now use it and make things affordable
for the
masses, for the common man.
Okay.
That's one layer to it. Then another layer to it is that same money that is accruing to it is made available to banks.
Okay.
So that banks can now give loans, soft loans to individuals on low interest rates.
Other small businesses.
Yes, on low interest rates.
Okay.
The interest will be so low that with a very long duration, that you will not feel
the impact.
The impact of it. You could even alternate from this business to another business, and the profit you make from there, you'll be able to pay back your loan and probably go for a bigger loan.
Okay. But is that being implemented in Nigeria?
And that's the problem we have. That's the gap here. And that's why this program is very wonderful, and this channel is doing a good job. And we know that those in the corridor of power are listening to us. They are going to listen to this program and look at this as a blueprint.
Okay.
Take this one now and begin to implement it. Tax the rich, the wealthy.
Yes.
Go for investment. Target them. Because some of the rich and the big investments do not even feel inflation.
Okay.
They do not even know there's inflation.
Okay.
They do not even know there's tax because they are making huge profits. So when you tax them, the money you make from there, you make social amenities very available. Okay. That will reduce the cost of transportation, which the common man is suffering from.
Yes.
When you now have buses that are either free or close to free.
Yes.
When you now have good health care, but very cheap.
Yes.
And then you put some category of people on free health care.
Yes.
And then you now have free education. Or subsidized education. Now the common man will not even feel the effect.
Okay.
And these rich that are on high will also not feel it because they are making big profits.
Okay.
So it is from their profit you will use to reduce the level of poverty. For instance, now, when subsidy was removed, immediately when subsidy was removed,
2023,
poverty
rate
increased to 63% in Nigeria. But now it has fallen down to 40.1. But there are some persons who are in that 63%. Now, when you want to go by UN standard, which says anybody that is living below $1 is poor. So when you use that to look at the poverty line, you realize that many Nigerians are not doing well. And that's why this program is talking to those in power and talking to the bourgeois, those who have money, those who are, thinking well for the masses, to join hands, policymakers, those who are in the houses, the lower and the upper house, talk about policies and legislations that can make life bearable for the masses of Nigeria.
Okay, sir. So, but what is your advice now to the government on way forward? Or let me just come back. Let's say what happens to our refineries? Because since the assumption of maybe the election of Muhammadu Buhari, he promised to build or rehabilitate one refinery every year. But up till date, no one is functioning, even at 0%, even at 1%.
Maybe I will even take you back to Obasanjo before the Buhari, because even the Obasanjo told
since 1999.
Obasanjo told Tinubu that refineries cannot work in Nigeria. Why? Because he has pumped a lot of money there. One factor is saboteur. You tend to have some people who are making money from modular. We have modular refineries. So those people running.
You mean within Nigeria?
Yes, within Nigeria. You have those are the ones that are always at loggerhead and all of that with law enforcement agents. So they have small refineries called modular refineries. It's owned by individuals and run by some people who are in the creeks and all of that. So those persons have direct link with other countries. And when we have a Warri refinery, you have a Port Harcourt refinery, and Kaduna functioning optimally. Now, those persons doing this bypass will have their market crash.
Sure.
So they also have backing from wherever So those persons don't really want the refineries to work.
But don't you
so
think,
that's the work of sabotage or saboteurs.
Okay, but let me ask the question. Don't you think there are some movers and shakers that are behind those people?
They are part of the saboteurs.
Okay.
They are part of the saboteurs, and they are all coming from the angle of what we call corruption. So you also have corruption in the system.
And are they above the government?
The problem is this. Before now, so a lot of monies have been pumped into those refineries, what they call turnaround maintenance.
Yes.
And these monies are being paid, and the turnaround maintenance are not properly done, which have depreciated the facilities, the machines that are actually there for purifying this oil into other different oil, the PMS, that we use today. So that also it all started from there. So then the next question is, are they above the government? No, it's not as if they are above the government. But the question is, before now, how sincere have the governments been? And then what's the political will?
Yes, that's another.
Because in this country, we have had a time that you find out that a sitting president will make himself minister of petroleum. And then he will just arrogate that title to himself as minister of petroleum. And a lot of things will be happening under him, he may not even know. And then gradually, we now have a time that when a certain person becomes the president, or becomes even a minister, it becomes a family thing. They bring their cronies, they bring people, they want to expand their empires. They bring people that are loyal to them, people that are related to them to manage this kind of infrastructure that shouldn't be managed that way. It should be based on competence. It should be those who knows it, who have the technical know-how, who will come and run it, and then the nation can make revenue from it. And then the masses can also enjoy the proceeds coming from this. But in an event where sentiment actually came into it, and all of this happened, and that's part of what happened. And it now makes it look as if the government is incapacitated. It's not as if the government is incapacitated. It's about political will. If today it's going to be a government that it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, it's about competency. And then whoever that is not doing well, you take him out of the system and you put the right people there. We'll have 3 refineries that are functioning well.
Wow. Okay. So let me come back again. Let's talk about this Dangote refinery. It was gathered that Dangote used about 19 or 20 billion dollars to build a modular refinery. Do you think Nigeria cannot build such refineries if those the old one we have cannot be repaired or cannot function again? Do you think Nigeria have the financial muscle to
Nigeria
if an individual can do that?
Nigeria has the financial muscle to do so.
But why are we not doing?
Going by the fact that if you look at when I was making my research, I realized that when you look at what they call account deficit. For a little while now, Nigeria have not been experiencing account deficit. We have been experiencing what they call account surplus. That's what we have now. There's no deficit. And then if you look at what we have in our foreign reserve and all of that, so there's a lot happening, because when the World Bank actually advised that we should take away subsidy, because the subsidy thing was actually making Nigeria to accrue a lot of debt, foreign debt.
But do you think the debt has reduced?
Yes, it is actually reducing, because if they had not stopped, the debt would have been more than what we have today. So, but what we are trying to say is that using money in the right place is the issue. So Nigeria has the money. Nigeria as a nation has the money to build even more than one of what Dangote has built. And Dangote has come to let us know that what we felt we couldn't do as a nation, an individual has done it. And that is why now it's becoming competitive between the 3 refineries who have been in comatose, who are trying to wake up from sleep now. They are now feeling this man has challenged us. And sometimes they try to mitigate and reduce the crude that is coming to Dangote. And that pushes Dangote to go to world market to go and buy crude. And that's the situation. But let's not forget that Dangote is a businessman. And if you allow him the free hand, Dangote is going to have what we call power of monopoly. He will take over the entire crude, and everybody will buy crude from him. And that will not be too good.
Well with Nigeria.
Yes, it's not be too good for Nigeria.
Okay, so I think we'll come back and continue from that. But let's take a break now. We'll come back on that. But before then, we are still talking about or discussing about the impact of the hike on fuel price in Nigeria and even in the global world. And then we are discussing with a public commentator, a Kaduna-based public commentator in person of Prince Anthony Akoche, and a cleric as well. I am Ilya Uta. We'll come back for that after some minutes. Let's take a break.
3 years ago, conflict erupted in Sudan. Today, it is one of the largest and fastest deteriorating humanitarian crises in the world. Over 33 million people need humanitarian assistance. More than half are children. But beyond the crisis, there are people showing up every day. Meet Ayman Karab, my UNICEF colleague working on the front lines of this crisis in Sudan. Hi, Ayman. Can you describe what children and families are facing right now in your community?
You can see the frequent attacks on the health facilities. Families are becoming afraid of accessing the healthcare. Malnutrition is getting very high in the country, and some of the communities are just under siege and trapped in some areas that are very hard to reach.
And in the face of such a difficult and dire situation, what have you seen change for children over the past 3 years of conflict?
Oh, Zara, the dreams are changing. I don't get the normal answers I used to get before. I want to be a doctor, a pilot. Now children in Sudan are just dreaming of going back home. They are tired of the shelling. They now able to differentiate between the different bullet sounds. You can see this in their drawings. It's very hard to absorb, especially for me as a mother. Children need first to be protected.
And what is UNICEF doing right now to make a difference?
We are bringing the vaccines that are saving lives, bringing the safe drinking water, offering the schools support.
Sudan's children cannot be forgotten. They need the world's attention, they need support, and they need it now.
Welcome back. That was a very interesting first part of this program. And then we discussed a lot about the issue of recruit and then the issue of the war that is going on in the Middle East between America and Israel and then Iran. And then we also discussed a little about the Nigerian refineries that are now kind of in a coma. Should I say in a coma?
In a state of comatose.
In a state of comatose at the moment. Then we are talking about also about the Dangote refineries that he's now trying to kind of bring succor to Nigeria, or on the other way, maybe saying that he's trying to kind of liberate Nigeria from going into, because if I didn't be Dangote is not in the market at the moment, but there could have been very long queue by now. Then, so I think we'll continue from there. We have many well-to-do Nigerians that even maybe I would say maybe if they are not richer than Dangote, they are almost closer to Dangote. Yes. What do you have for them so that they can come and invest in Nigeria or build such refineries so that they can have we can have a more succor?
Okay, before I actually come to these bourgeois, to the well-to-do, who are at par or very close to Dangote, let's look at, I want to talk to African leaders entirely. Iran has been under sanction for quite a long while, from 1979. And they have this stockpile of missiles. They have this military might to be able to withstand and to do their own little shots here and there. Which, what they have displayed that they have, I don't think the whole of Africa anybody has. No country has it.
Wow.
Now, which tells us that we are not, in Africa, no country is under sanction.
No.
Like Iran.
Yes.
And no country has actually been isolated like Iran. But in the middle of all of this, what Iran did was, at home, they patronized made in Iran. They also went into indigenous production. They now relied on what they call ingenuity. They began to do their own thing by themselves. And they now liaise with Russia and, of course, China. And they were borrowing technology from there and were building themselves. So it is a slap. And it is a wake-up call to African leaders.
In general,
And then in all of this, you realize that the rich people in Iran may have supported their leaders. Coming to this
and
question
even investing in their
own economy. Coming to talk about the rich people, the people like the Dangotes. For the Dangotes, who can give him a tap in the back that he's doing well. Instead of investing elsewhere, he's doing it in Nigeria. So where are some persons who are financially at par with Dangote? Those who are neck to neck with Dangote, who are rich. It is time for them to step in now and into the Nigerian situation and begin to also see how they can industrialize Nigeria.
Yes.
So that when Nigeria move away from a consumer nation to a producer nation, it will give strength to the naira. There's a stance now that we're almost not producing anything.
Forget about something.
I remember the late president once said something that even toothpick was being imported
from outside. Wow.
That is a misnomer. That is abnormal. So we should have rich people. Dangote is already doing well in that sector. Who will go into other sectors? Automobile is still there. Begging for concern. We still have so many other sectors who are not doing well, like textiles. The textiles are dead. The ones in Kaduna here are not working. The ones elsewhere, they are not functioning. So why not bring resources into all of this instead of going on what they call medical tourism and also going on retreats and all whatever, spending money and making other countries richer than your country. Why not bring those resources here and set up these things and revamp some of those places that needed little money into them to function? And when you do this, it will employ a lot of people. Because if you look at it right now, the level of unemployment is alarming. The other time when we looked at it, it was pursuing about close to from 60 to 70%. The level of unemployment. So by the government no government in the world employs everybody.
No, it's not possible.
And that is why the private sector needs to be robust, need to be up and doing, need to also function effectively. So who are those that will make up the private? The rich, the mighty, those who have financial muscles to flex. So bring in that money, just the way Dangote is doing, set up so many, invest it into the economy, so that many youths
can be engaged.
And that will reduce criminality. Today we have banditry, we have this, we have that, and all of that. Nobody is making excuses for them. But there's one statement that we cannot run away from. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. So recruit these people, get them engaged. Let them work. And when you get, the crime rate will fall, it will reduce. Now, when the crime rate reduces, what government pays to manage insecurity will also reduce. And that money will now go into infrastructure. So that is why it is very important that time to sit by and watch, that's talking about the wealthy people, that time is gone. They should come, let's do things together. It's very, very important.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for that elaborate analysis. Now we're now a kind of what can we advise Nigerians to do in this situation of for a hike in the of inflation rates increase? Then the poverty is also biting harder. The economy, the family cannot afford 3 square meal. Even the essential community cannot be afforded by the common masses. What can the masses do now?
The masses right now, we are part of the masses, and that's why we're calling on the government to provide us what they call an enabling environment. When the environment is conducive, people can go to farm. They can go to farm. People can go to so many other places. They can go about their normal businesses. They can do all that. So government needs to give us an enabling environment. Then another thing is, there is nobody that is handicapped. There is nobody that is handicapped. What that means is that you may not have leg, you may not have this, but once your mind is functional, you can be producing something to make money. So make yourself relevant. Talking about the masses now.
The masses.
Think out of the box. What can we do to bring 1 naira home, to bring 2 naira into the family? So everybody should get engaged in doing something. Now, because when people are not really a kind of harness and tailored towards productivity, towards doing doing things, good things, they can become readily available tools for even politicians or for evil-minded people to use them against the state and against the community. So my build up this hour is Nigerians we know them to be very resilient people and hardworking people. Let's use that as a tool to see how we can work. By working, we'll be increasing the family revenue. And when you're increasing the family revenue,
definitely
that will also accrue and also improve the national revenue. And then, of course, poverty will be reduced. And then another thing is spending.
We have to.
Every family has to look into spending. We have to run away from certain
necessary.
yes, we
Yes.
should go towards necessity.
Yes.
We run away from too much of luxury at this particular time.
Okay, sir, I want to just ask you this question. Had you been, if you have to be made a president of Nigeria for one day, or let's say for a month, what will you do with our refineries?
It's going to be a case of overhaul, a total overhaul. What I mean by a total overhaul is, for instance, from the scratch.
Okay.
Dangote has a refinery today.
Okay.
We can also have it from the scratch.
Okay.
And bring those good hands that can manage it. Because there are persons that, as long as you leave them in the system, they will rupture the system, they will rubble the system.
Okay.
So when there's an overhaul in the system, you stop the entire process and start something new.
Okay.
Let's have a refinery that can give us data, and those data are correct.
Okay.
Not refineries that are sleeping and telling the media.
You know why I ask this question? Some people were agitating that let's commercialize these refineries. Do you think is that possible?
The problem with commercializing almost everything is the fact that when you put all of these things in the hands of business people will always remain business people.
Okay.
Business is about profit making.
Sure.
So they will keep increasing the prices of these things that the common masses cannot get them. That is the problem.
Okay, but do you think our refinery can be rehabilitated?
I'll give you an example with PHCN.
Okay.
It was formerly NEPA.
Yeah.
It was sold.
Yes, sure.
It is now PHCN.
PHCN, yeah.
In many places, even where I'm coming from, it is difficult to have 1 to 2 hours electricity.
Even myself.
And we are still paying for day, for month, and for year.
You can see we are even using generator now.
Now we are shortchanged because we are paying for the lights that we are not using. It's as good as we are paying for darkness.
Yes.
For every darkness we see, we pay for light.
Wow.
And it's all coming from commercialization. It was commercialized.
So commercializing the refinery.
So in the Nigerian situation, there are certain, fabric of the, certain infrastructure that
should not be
commercializing have failed. The government should take over those ones. Anyone that, when it's being commercialized and it didn't work, you take it over and make it a government thing. It's just that what depreciated some of those things was a wrong orientation. That anything that is of government, people should do anyhow. If we had a strong national orientation agency, they are listening to me now. They should wake up and tell people that anything that is government is our own. When you run it bad, you are running yourself bad. It will affect you. It will come after you someday. So that people will guide and protect anything that is of government. If we're doing that, the question of even commercializing PHCN wouldn't have come up.
Yes, sure.
So, but now that we have learned our lesson now, me that is paying 24 hours light and I'm getting 20 minutes light, when it goes back to the hand of the government, we'll protect it and we'll guide it and make sure that it's functioning.
But do you think in this particular issue of fuel hike in price, is there hope for Nigeria?
Yes, actually there's hope for Nigeria. And though, as it stands now, some people are making money. One, the government is making money.
Okay.
Then the people in oil and gas are making money.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's turn the table around.
Okay.
Where it can be good for Nigeria.
Yes.
The government can cash big. When they cash big, then they come what we call palliative.
Okay.
They will use the cash big, the money they may have gotten from this situation, and bring palliative. What are these palliatives? I've talked about some of them. I'm going to repeat them now because of emphasis.
Yes.
There should be free buses. There should be free medical care. In fact, there should be free education.
But the palliative, can it be sustained?
Let's start it first.
Okay.
Because
we have seen instances in Kaduna, even if the federal government, when during the first subsidy was removed, the federal government said they are providing buses just for some few days and it disappeared.
No, that was for political reason. Sometimes politicians could do that because they want to win election or they want to look good in the eyes of the people. So temporarily they may have planned it. Let's allow this thing to run for 6 months. Let's allow this, but they won't tell anybody. So let's have a strong political will that these things have come to stay. Free buses. In fact, some Nigerians, those that were born somewhere before the 70s, when they had free education.
Yeah, sure.
They had an education whereby they eat morning food, it was free.
Yes.
They eat in the afternoon, it was free.
They even wash
when I got admission in my school, I met a dining hall where those who schooled before us were eating food for free. But me, when I came, it was no longer free. So why can't we, come back to that anymore? Now, our national anthem has been changed.
Yeah, yes.
They brought back the old one. So let's bring back the old way of doing those things. I'm not talking about the analog.
Yes.
But those enjoyments that our parents of them who are in power now enjoy. We want to enjoy the
most
same
of
thing.
them went to school
They went to school free.
Sure.
In fact, let me say something that is very interesting. When I came to secondary school, I still saw government secondary school had bus. They had buses.
Yes.
That when school closes, they take people home. Where are those buses now? So government should buy those buses for school pupils and students that can take them to school and take them home. It's very important. So those are, when government make money like this, those money should be seen.
Yes, so that people can feel.
So that people can say, yes, actually the government made money and we are enjoying the money now.
Yes.
Government and governance shouldn't be after 4 years or 8 years. You come and give Indomie, to people and say, don't worry, and give them promises that you will not meet. No, that's not governance. Governance should be sustainable things. Should be okay. For instance, within Kaduna and other states in Nigeria, do you know that we have few what they call recreational centers? Where if somebody is walking under the sun and is tired, he says, okay, let me go and sit down here. We used to have them in those days, but they were vandalized and nobody put them in place anymore. Okay, so these are some areas the government can come into these things.
Okay, sir, I think we have spoken a lot about this fuel issue, and I want us to digress a little again to go into politics proper, or a little about politics, considering the election year that is forthcoming, that is 2027. We are having our election even early as January and then February for the governorships and the state assemblies. So, and then even at the moment now, the ruling party, APC, is starting its convention today up to tomorrow. So what do you think about the political situation in Nigeria? Because I've discussed with many people that even have this opinion that democracy is a fraud.
Probably because of the cross-carpeting.
Okay.
People are leaving certain parties in their numbers.
Yes, let me add to this, because I was asking the person why. He was telling me this, that since the return of democracy in 1999,
yes,
up to date, every electionary year that comes, they will come with same agenda. We build roads, we provide electricity, we provide potable water. Up till now, nothing is done.
No, when we say nothing is done, I think it's an exaggeration. Some few things have been done. It's just that at this stage of our polity and democracy, we shouldn't be talking about water again. We shouldn't be talking about road again. If those who actually took power from 1999 actually did a lot of these things, we should be talking about bigger things. How to make life better for the people, talking about humanity now, how to make our youth to be very, very productive, how to make our economy to stand with world power, economies that are, that are forces to be reckoned with. That's what we should be talking about. But it's because of the deficit. It's because some of those things didn't happen. Then if you realize in 1999, when the likes of Obasanjo
came into board.
Now, they took over a Nigeria that a whole lot of things were not in place. So, but they tried to put one or two things. But let me say this also.
Yes, sir.
The 8 years was not enough. And that's why probably he ran for what they call third term. And Nigerians said they won't give it to him, and they never gave it to him. Now, because I could remember then, during OBJ, because we're discussing things that can fix this country again. I believe in Nigeria. And I believe Nigeria can
also remember that it is during his time that this PHN, this NEPA was privatized.
Yes, it was privatized because he was disappointed. I think before him, there was even a president that wept over NEPA. Because he had a program and people were to come from elsewhere, from around the world, and they came and there was no light the whole of that day. Before OBJ came to power, that president wept. And coming to... When OBJ came to power, he brought in so many things from abroad and all of that. They had issues with shipment and all of that. Those things came. And then Nigerians, some very, very bad element, actually cornered those things and frustrated it.
Okay.
And that's where he as a person lost faith in PhD and being run by government.
Okay.
So he now felt if he put it in the hands of individuals,
yeah, maybe it will be properly managed.
it will be properly managed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the individuals who have bought it now, the story is different.
Sure.
They are just collecting our money.
Yes.
I want to say it here. Let them listen to me. They are just collecting our money, and we are not seeing the light.
Let me see you. Live, yes.
They are just collecting our money, and we are not seeing the light.
Yes.
Okay. So we cannot also blame him, because we tend to have so many other countries who have privatized like that in good hands.
Yes.
And the people who bought those things from government even proved government wrong, because they ran it well.
Yes.
They did it well.
Yes.
But in this case, the reverse is the case.
Wow.
Then coming to that 1999, I remembered in Zaria, there was serious water problem.
Yes.
And the president used to do what they call presidential explain, where every Saturday he speaks to people from Nigeria.
Yes.
774 local governments in Nigeria. People call him and complain.
Yes.
The one that is the problem of your local government chairman, he'll tell you this one is your local government chairman. The one that is the problem of your councillor,
he will tell you.
He will tell you. The one is the problem of your governor. At some point, Obasanjo was even calling these leaders. Like, you look at your people complaining. What happened?
Yes.
So that's the kind of proactive leadership we are talking about.
Yes.
I'm not campaigning for Obasanjo. It's not coming again.
No.
But we are talking about whoever that's going to take over power.
Yes.
Should be up and doing. Should bring things like that whereby the masses can reach them.
Yes.
You know, there's even a system in place, if it is true, it's wrong.
Yes.
That once you become a governor or you become a president, they will collect your phone from you.
Yes.
People cannot reach you again.
Yes.
Even if they call you, it is not you they will get some other persons.
Okay.
And then you tend to have some advisors and so many people who are misinforming those, telling them that all is in order. Everything is going on fine.
Yes.
So until that is corrected, whoever that is saddled with responsibility as a special advisor or PA or whatever they are called,
all those people,
they should report well.
Sure.
They should tell the person in power that, sir,
this what
the people need this. This thing is not in place.
Yes.
Is then we'll have a functional Nigeria.
Okay.
Is then we'll have a Nigeria that can beat his chest and come into Committee of Nations. And we'll talk and everywhere we shake.
Sure. So let's come back to this issue of election. 2027 is fast approaching, and then look at the scenario of our politics in Nigeria now. You can see that now many governors, there's a kind of a gall of defection. Many governors are just going into the APC. What does this forecast for Nigerian politics?
It tells us of a glooming danger, because the danger here is that we are gradually drifting to a one-party system
too.
And when we have a one-party system, you know, a lot of things will not go fine. One, there will be no competition. We talked about monopoly the other time. So the party that is in power will monopolize everything, and there will be no opposition, and there will be nobody to say anything. But if a party in power knows that there's a strong opposition, and they know the manifesto and the layout and programs of the opposition, they too will be trying to be, they'll be on their toe. That's the stance now that all governors, almost all governors, have all defected to one party. It doesn't speak well for our democracy. It's no longer democracy. It is another thing now. We call it Nigeria crisis now, because in a democracy, at least there should be two parties or three parties.
Yes, there should be opposition.
Where people can vote wisely based on manifesto.
Choice.
People should have choice. In this modern time and age, you now have only one party. But so it's like putting all of us into one basket.
Since we still have this PDP, and then we have ADC that's coming up.
The PDP only have like two governors. I think Bauchi and one other person that is not certain.
Oyo State, that is Sheyi Makiwa.
That is the situation. Then I think Abga just won.
Soludo.
So now, so the issue right now tells us that why are these people cross-carpeting? Is it that they did not work and they are afraid that the next election they are not going to win? So they want to use what we call politically, what we call power of incumbency. Because by joining the ruling party, definitely they will now hide under the umbrella of power of incumbency.
Yes.
Without working, without delivering the delivery, then they will just have it. They will just sail through. That's their thinking. For me, that's what they are thinking.
Okay.
So, and let me say this: as long as these parties are registered, Nigerians should vote wisely. They should know who actually worked and who did not work. So, at this point, we are at the crossroad of either voting for party or voting for individuals based on what we are sure they can do.
Based on your narration, then, do you think this PDP and APC can make any headway in the 2027 elections?
Yes, it depends on, as it stands right now, a whole Nigerians know what they want.
Yeah.
Nigerians are very, very, in fact, in the world, if you go to UK, go to US, best doctors are Nigerians, best engineers are Nigerians. So Nigerians are very intelligent people. So they actually know. Now, we've tested APC at least for how many years? We've tested
about 8 years,
the other time, and this one now.
I think about 12 now.
For 12 years now. So Nigerians will tell us whether they are very okay
or not
with the APC. So if Nigerians decide to vote APC
again,
it means they are very okay with it. But if they are not okay with it, of course, they have what we call alternative.
They
have options.
We have NNPP, even NNPP too.
So there are many parties. So what Nigerians should do is look at the parties. But if they are very okay with
I have even Labour Party as well.
But if they are very okay with APC, that is their choice. And you know everybody is entitled to his opinion.
Yeah, sure. That is
so that is what it is.
Then now, as we conclude, in your own opinion, Nigeria is faced with diverse challenges: insecurity, economic hardship, and unemployment. Our health facilities are not working. The education sector is something else. What is your advice to the government, your candid advice to the government?
My candid advice to the government is the government should believe in Nigeria first.
Okay.
What do I mean by believing in Nigeria? Why, if you have little headache or stomach, you are going to UK, you are going to France? Why are the presidents of those countries not coming
to Nigeria?
So let's believe in Nigeria.
Okay.
Bring our federal, state, and local hospitals to board, to standard. Go to our schools. Bring them to standard. Teachers are underpaid in Nigeria. You have to look into that. Very, very important. Journalists are doing the best they can do. Our Nigerian journalists are one of the best in the world. Their take-home pay is nothing to write home about. These are the areas the government should give attention to. And let me be very honest. The lawmakers, I don't have anything against them. But I want them at this time to think, if what they are collecting, they know what they are collecting is not at their advantage or at the expense of Nigeria, then they should continue to collect it. But if they know it's at the expense of Nigeria,
they should
they on their own should say, okay, no, let's slash our welfare, our salaries, our whatever.
I even skipped that place. I wanted to ask you,
let's slash it.
Our National Assembly doing well?
Our National Assembly. And you know it's bogus.
Sure.
It's bogus. It's so bogus because Senate alone is about 109.
About 109.
Yeah. So, and then you look at the lower house. We are not saying there should be a major, but there should be a slash.
Sure.
Whereby in this country today, you see people trekking from pole to pole. You see some persons cannot even pay school fees. Some people cannot even pay house rent. And then we now have members of the house living lavishly. So all of these are things that if they return to the house after listening to me, they are humans.
Sure.
We should be there for one another.
Definitely.
Humanity. After God, the next thing is humanity. So the next thing is, okay, what do we do as a house? Let's slash this, let's slash that, and push it into things that will wear a human face. Things that people will feel succor, people will feel loved, and all of that. Let me be very candid with you. I am not apologizing or kind of supporting what is happening, but there is a fracture or a faction, or if you like, a quantum of mismanagement. For instance, there was a time in this country, a part of this country, were producing things. And instead of government at that time to encourage these people who were producing things, they were taking police to go and arrest them and say, who licensed you this, who licensed you that? And that people now that you stop from production, what would they do? Okay, so some great minds and great brains that are here today who are taking guns, if we had managed them well, and if we have roadmap, okay, and policies that can carry them and cater for all of them, instead of carrying gun, I want to assure you to be carrying biro. Some of them will be carrying spanner.
Wow.
Nigeria has come of time and age that we can produce our own aircraft.
Yes.
Iran come and buy. US come and buy.
Yes, we have the talent.
France come and buy.
Sure.
We have come of time that we can produce, we can produce things like drones and say, okay, come and buy from us.
Yes.
Warship, come and buy from us.
Yes.
We can produce, we used to have things they call Italian shoes. We can have our own Nigerian shoes that will beat Italian.
Sure.
Or go at par with Italian shoes that even the Italians will say, let's buy from Nigeria.
Yes.
So until there's that balance of trade, sir, when countries can also want to buy our product because those products are good.
Yes. And then let's also patronize our own product as well.
Yes, buy made in Nigeria.
Yes, it will help. So, okay, sir. Because of time, I think this is where we draw the curtain of the program for today. That is the guest of the week for this week. Thank you for coming once again, sir.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure
it is our pleasure. The television station is very happy with your presence. On behalf of the production crew and then the executive director, Alhaji Ibrahim Dosara, and then my able guest, the Kaduna-based public affairs commentator in person of Prince Antonia Kochi. And then I am Ili Adomauta, saying, be our guest next week by the grace of God. Sir, I want to say thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Thank you.